was Murderbot Season 1, Episode 5.
There's 10 in the season. Is that true?
Episode
Do we just do
I have not
the halfway
verified.
point?
We can check that. I can look.
I think it was a 10 ep
That sounds about right.
arc for season 1. Which, if so, would be
8 as of the 27th. So there's probably, I think you're probably right. It's probably
27th.
going to be 10.
okay.
10, yep. So we're almost caught up.
Yeah, I
And
felt
by
like
that,
a little bit
we're
of
a
a
little bit
halfway
behind.
point. We are going just sort of 1 week at a time, though, just like the show is.
We
so I
have.
don't know if we are catching
We
up.
just started a little bit behind. You're right. We are not
Yeah.
catching up.
I
Though
don't-
maybe there will be a break for the 4th.
I think we're pacing at the same pace, I guess.
We are. We are going at the same pace, a couple of steps behind.
Yeah.
We are not gaining any ground
Yet.
until this, then episode 10 comes out, and then we can gain some ground on Murderbot.
Sure.
Where does our ep start?
Right where we left off.
Shot in the chest.
We left off with our robot, Murderbot, nobly trying to take his own life
Our intrepid hero.
to save the lives of his crew. And that's where we pick up.
And he's pretty upset that they're trying to bring him back to life because he's like, what the hell was the point in shooting myself? If you're just going to bring me back to life, or I'll kill you all. We get a new bonus guest.
Mm-hmm.
Labibby.
But a delightful turn.
I am a big fan of Labibby. I'm a big fan of the actress. Anna something, I believe.
Anna something.
I think literally her last name is something, though.
Yeah, Anna something.
Anna something.
She was marvelous. I wonder how much of her dialogue was improv. Her saying her name out loud, it did seem like the reaction of the rest of the crew was just honest flabbergation.
Now, she's definitely lying about something, right?
She is very inquisitive. She's got to be put on here for some reason. Her asking about Murderbot's pee-pee was to me the funniest part of the ep.
Yeah, you're in shock, but she clearly wasn't in shock. She's just being herself.
She's a bit horny, and everybody knows a Skarsgård is very attractive. Any Skarsgård.
It does concern me a little bit. I hope they don't go too far to the comedy end on the show, because so far the comedy level has been perfect in that it's still a good sci-fi show. I'm still interested in the story. I'm still interested in the mystery of it all. But the lightheartedness has been very welcome, and I welcome her to the show. So far, it's been tremendous. But I do get a little bit concerned.
Her imitation of the other Murderbot doing the machine gun noises was true. With the face that she was making was absolutely hysterical. It was tremendous.
So they go back. They're trying to bring the robot back to life. They find this person. They almost kill her on accident. They get on their ship. She kind of tells them what happened-ish. It wasn't their security bot, and their security bot just kind of went crazy and killed them all.
Mm-hmm.
To reboot him, would we call him the protagonist, the antagonist? I don't know if I call him the antagonist of the story, but he's an antagonistic character at the moment. He does not.
First the character Murderbot describes as hippie chick goes in and does a few things first.
Pulls out the little probes.
And then I would say a light antagonist. Yeah. Inside the crew, obviously there's a larger mystery about what's going on the planet, and we'll have a bigger bad, but a little bad.
Yeah. He's not
minor antagonist.
He's definitely going to make a face turn at some point, is my guess. But he is a little antagonist. Him and Security Bot definitely are not getting along.
Mm-hmm.
He has to plug into him because he's the enhanced human of the crew, and he kind of rifles through a little bit when he's rebooting him, and puts a little robotic hex on him.
Mm-hmm.
That means he can't move below his neck.
Gives him the old paralysis. Because he notices that the robot is
already hacked
himself.
Yep, he has already
So
gone rogue.
big reveal to the crew. Our robot is sentient. And that takes a little bit of convincing. Our light antagonist doesn't believe that would mean sentience.
Yeah.
More likely a plot by the overriding organization, which seems to be fairly unfounded in the opinion of pretty much everyone else in the show.
They definitely think someone is working against them, but the logic does not point to the company because they don't really have a lot to gain from this. Right. The security bot, they have quite a discussion in front of the security bot. Most of the crew is leaning towards this actually is better than before, because the biggest concern we had about the security bot was that it didn't have any free will, and we're major hippies and into that. And now we actually have him as a crew member that is here by choice.
He has the free will, and he has exercised it in service of the crew.
To keep them alive. He immediately hacks through his paralysis and threatens our boy's life. Puts some hands on him. This obviously scares the whole crew a little bit, but he decides not to kill him. As he points out many times, if the company wanted to kill them, then they would have just done it a long time ago in a million different ways, like poisoning their food or poisoning their habitat. It would not be hard.
How would you kill your direct reports?
Oh, I don't have any direct reports anymore. Probably like some sort of faulty piece of equipment would definitely be the way to do it.
Easier when you're in an office. We all work remote, so I'd really have to.
You'd really have to try hard.
I'd have to do like a hex.
You'd have to do You'd have to get the old voodoo doll out.
Yeah. And even that, I think you need something that belongs to the other person. So I still got to make a trip.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to hack into the Internet of Things and find some sort of smart device that they have that you could go crazy on. At this point, they decide to send out the emergency probe, which is supposed to send a message through the wormhole, an EMP message that the company gets, and the company sends a starship to come save them all.
In 5 days' time, but unfortunately they cannot connect to the beacon to send that out, so they got to go and push the button manually. So the leader of the crew and Murderbot get in the airplane and fly to go and press the button, but it blows up.
Right as they're arriving, he realizes there's a security concern, tries to get her to turn around, and it blows up all around them. They are crashing.
How he knew that it was going to blow up?
I didn't see anything specific. I just saw him getting a threat alert.
Same. Yeah, I didn't see what would be the cause of that.
I think he just has a threat assessment, and maybe the algorithm was... Maybe he was finally able to contact the probe from that closer distance, and he was getting some information. Or maybe he was just putting the plan together and realizing through algorithm and thought process that this maybe was a trap at the last minute. But he tries to get her to turn around. It's a little bit late. They are definitely crashing into the side of the mountain when we leave our episode.
This show, I feel like every ep ends in a banger of a cliffhanger.
It is a typical procedural
that is resolved in the first 30 seconds of the next ep. Kind of a weird level of stakes.
You were not a Stargate watcher, as I was. This was a phenomenon that show mastered. Not every episode, but the end of a season was always a cliffhanger that would be resolved in the first episode or the first 2 episodes of the next season. And this was in the world where when you finished a season, they had already filmed and had a trailer for like the next season of it. Like, season 7 coming, and they would show you a trailer. That I feel like doesn't happen anymore, except for we were surprised when Slow Horses did it.
Yeah.
They're very much in... That's the old TV that I remember, where they're just like, no, we already filmed like the next season and are like editing it, so we already have trailers and previews for what the next is going to happen.
I mean, Slow Horses is only 6 eps in the British style, but yes, yeah.
But yes, I was actually thinking that exact same thing. Where like every episode so far has been, here's a cliffhanger. Tune in next time to find out how our intrepid heroes get out of this.
And I bring that up because this was the one where it really hit me. Like, yeah, the leader of the crew and the Murderbot are in an explosion, but obviously nothing is going to happen because this has been the formula for the first 5 eps, and this one does not seem nearly as worrisome, egregious. There's no larger sinister plot or anything like that. We could turn on the next ep now, and in 30 seconds the fire will be out, and the spaceship will have landed in the
I mean, the
Baskin
danger will
Robbins
be how do
parking
they
lot.
get back to the ship, right? Like that's going to be the next episode.
Yep.
I still enjoy it.
Me too. I would love for them to vary the tempo a little bit is what I'm saying.
That's fair. What is interesting is it still has a mix of that new like constant story. So it's not like we had a full plot line this episode. Like it was just it was a step forward, but also cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But the cliffhanger didn't it wasn't like we had a typical closed episode where it's a start, we have a problem, we get the apex, and then they solve the problem, and then we get a cliffhanger at the end to hold you over the next episode.
I mean, kind of. The problem is the Murderbot is
That's
dead,
fair.
and we need to fix him. So, I mean, I could hook in the storyline into that arc that you're describing. Last ep or 2 eps ago, we were talking about 2 overriding concerns. One being what's going on the planet. What's going on with all these rogue murder bots and dead people? We still don't know.
They haven't even gone back to those weird insect things that were eating them.
I don't think we made an ounce of progress on that, although it's fair to assume that our new friend will factor into it somehow. But then the other one was when is the crew going to figure out that Murderbot is sentient?
We got that one today.
We got that this ep, and what was the reaction? It was almost unanimously positive.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the that's your typical outsider story, right? You're like, I don't trust these people with my secret. I can't tell them my secret because the way that they'll respond to my secret will be dangerous. And then of course, when you get close enough to someone, you realize that sometimes being honest with who you are is the secret to friendship.
Interesting. What's the biggest secret you're keeping from me?
That I'm actually the father of your children.
That doesn't sound right.
It's not.
They don't seem anything like you.
It's not even close. What's the biggest secret I'm keeping from you that I'm willing to tell the internet? I don't know if I have a good one at all. Yeah, well, maybe. All right, how about next episode? Let's each have a secret that we're not telling each other.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be that big, obviously, because
Yeah.
I don't know if I purposefully have secrets that I keep from people.
And I will absolutely remember this prompt, and I will not make it up on the spot.
Honestly, you won't be writing it on the drive over here going, oh shit, that's right, I was supposed to have a
That's
secret.
way more generous.
My secret is I ran a red light on the way over here. And I didn't tell anybody about it.
I follow all the traffic rules.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that
speed. There's no way.
I don't know, not necessarily speed. And the other one that's kind of new, it's getting a lot more traction. Is
the turn right on red?
How did you know exactly?
I knew exactly what you were going to say.
And Anna and I got into a couple of fights about it because I will obey, I think, one of them out of the 5 that are in my regular routes. Because
it's the new phenomenon
free right.
in Seattle,
I get my free right.
And it's everywhere. And there are a couple of places where it makes sense. The no right on red on Northgate and First, where you can turn right, but you can also turn onto the freeway.
Yeah.
That one I get,
Yes.
and I understand why.
Yeah.
But I also go, but if I'm taking the close right, it should be okay.
There's a similar one coming back from the Gime for me, going south on Greenwood.
Yep.
The other place that you see them is largely around school zones.
Sure. And I can get behind that one. There's a no turn on they put them all along Aurora now, which is probably the most upsetting. Like that Home Depot parking lot has a no turn right on red.
Come on.
And I'm like, get out of here. No, I hard agree with you. What I do like that's changed recently is that the walk signs go white before the light turns green.
Yeah,
I think that's a positive trend.
I agree.
This episode's taken quite a twist. But I knew exactly what you're talking about when you're like, yeah, the no turn on, and it's like happening at every intersection. Like
it's Bed Bath and Beyond.
Giant Seattle initiative, and I dislike it. Yeah, so we both already guessed next episode's pretty much going to be about how they get back to the crew. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming the crew is going to immediately think they're dead.
Yeah, and so good point, because the leader told our light antagonist somebody else is in charge, right?
Yes, they're soft in charge.
That he is in charge?
I didn't catch
I thought
that.
she said that somebody else was in charge, not him, but I would assume that he will say, I'm actually in charge. She told me before.
But basically they said, you're the lead of the co-op. Or like, I wish I could find the exact
first
term.
Among equals.
Yeah,
or something,
first among
like
equals
that.
or something. Yeah. Highest among equals or some hilarious communism term like that. Yeah, I'm excited. The show's great. I could use 5 more minutes in Ep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when we're talking about how I was saying basically it didn't follow like a normal story path. You're right, there was a story path there, but there was absolutely zero impact from our hippie lady pulling the like probes out of her. There was no tension on that scene at all because it was so fast. And most of it was focused on introducing our new character, which was great. And like the highlight of the episode was definitely introducing her and having the weird
you would have
her period.
Wanted them to draw that out like a
I would want
operation
a
game.
Danger. Yeah, a little danger to what's happening and how like there's some, and then even he goes, what I thought was going to be a joke but also a moment of tension was when they go, and hopefully they're smart enough to reboot me, and then they immediately reboot him.
Yes.
And I was like that. Yeah. I was like, give us a moment where we don't think they're going to do it, or they're just or they forget. Like that's. And I think that's just out of the like very aggressive editing and length of the episodes. So it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing in today's day and age to have a shorter episode. I'm excited about that, but I could use 3 to 5 more minutes. And I think this episode specifically went by super fast, and could have used a little bit more tension in some of the moments that meant like they were just so procedural. It was literally like ship, heal, remove probes, reboot. And the only thing that was necessary of that was like him connecting and finding out the past about him. So like there's a narrative choice there. But I felt like there should have been some more tension to maybe he won't come, maybe we won't be able to fix him. Right? He's leaking all over the place. And now that we fixed him, maybe like one of the probes is stuck super deep. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without damaging him, or like it's a risk to our ship, or something that would have given some tension to that. Because all it was really just like, oh, I just did it.
And the formulaic aspect is talking to the that I was referring to about the cliffhangers is talking to that lack of tension that you're referring to as well. So I don't know if it's just not supposed to be a tense show, or if it got edited down to hit that 22-minute mark. I think that's an open question. Good question. I was kind of wondering, like, what would it look like if there was, instead of 10 eps of 22 minutes, if there was 5 eps of 45 minutes? Would that have worked a little bit better from a, not necessarily a pacing perspective, but a surprise week to week, moment to moment, anticipating the next? I'm excited to watch the next ep because I like the show. I'm invested in the show, but it's not one of those, I got to click in to see exactly what happens.
It's what's interesting about the cliffhangers is not that they don't have such a pull that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for next week. They have the pull of a Netflix model, which is like, I want you to press play immediately. And considering it's a show that's released week to week, that's a little bit interesting to me that they're using that choice, like the cliffhanger choice.
I wonder if it would be better off just to not have the cliffhangers, just to edit them out when they're not necessary for a particular ep.
I think this one specifically, they could have ended the ep while they were flying towards the ship.
Yes,
And I wouldn't
exactly,
have cared any
exactly.
differently. Yeah. Do you think there's anything outside of comedy for our new character being in love with the robot? Because so far it's just a comedic choice, but I do wonder if it's going to. And you notice when she kissed him, his like capacity went down.
Yeah, he didn't seem
I can't tell if he was
enthused
into
by
it
it.
or not.
I think he was definitely not into it.
Yeah, that's how I felt at first until the capacity thing, and I wasn't sure if like that was some sort of joke where he's just like, I can't comprehend this. But that I think that will be interesting to see how that plays out. But I don't know if it's just for comedy, just for chuckle's sake, or if there's going to be a narrative impact there.
I think it's hard to seduce a robot. I think I've been trying to
I know you've been going
flirt
after
with Alexa
for
a long time, but
she's only giving you back. It's her job.
She's polite.
She is. She's very nice to us. Well, with that, we'll probably ask her to turn the lights off, and we'll continue our adventures.
Stay gold.